this wildcard stage facing off against each other.
This is a picture-perfect matchup. If you're Dignitas, I think you want this challenge early in the wildcard. Granted, it's the last day, so they're going to have to fight through round 5, whichever team does eventually drop this, but this is a confidence win for both squads, taking down a powerhouse on the other side of the field.
A couple of players on either side being the confident ones as well, and a couple of players lacking too, unfortunately. For Spacestation, they have had the helm charged by Rettles, as James correctly identified. Rettles has been unbelievable. Throughout the entire competition, he's been topping several tables. Daniel only recently starting to get to that point as well. Fortunately, not on that play. That's the first blood pulls Jorius.
And you're going to have to take those backline challenges if you're Dignitas, because the pressure will be there. Spacestation love to get comfortable in the offensive third, but a quick poke out, and they take advantage. We saw Jorius in the face cam to start this series. That dude is locked in. You know the Dignitas are coming here to play. Apparently Jack was here at 7 a.m. They're not messing around.
Yeah, he said to us when we were outside the hotel waiting for our shuttle to come over, he said, I'm either going to join you on the shuttle or I've got on the one before you. He is so confident. He is locked in. He's seen what's happened at previous events and he does not want that to happen again. Now, these guys did not attend the full major. Spacestation had an unbelievable performance there. But Dignitas, with that early lead, may well be confidence-inspiring.
I mean, one of the keys to victory, if you are Spacestation, is, again, shutting down Jorius on the side wall, the space he creates on the other side of the field, keeping Daniel locked in a bubble. You have to isolate him and quarantine that offense as much as possible. Rettles, the extension, couldn't find the third touch, but did enough to keep the offense moving. And the progressions being read down by Spacestation upfield. This is what their offense does so well. Dignitas doing a good job holding on the pressure.
Dig's defense not normally pushed as hard as they would anticipate potentially. They are normally the offensive team. Jack is #1 in 4 offensive categories: goals, assists, shots, and score. He is unbelievably attacking. Jorius right behind him for a lot of them in 2nd, 3rd, 4th place. Spacestation Gaming, though, they prefer to be sitting back and then go for the counter. That's definitely been where Rettles and Daniel have been most comfortable. But Daniel really turned it on yesterday. That man,
yeah,
that incredible teenager has turned it up to a level we have not seen every single time from him in LAN. And I'm sure SSG fans, everybody in the audience is very relieved to hear.
And we spoke to Rettles' dad before this series kicked off, and he had talked about Arsenal feeling better today. He's on a better mood right now, and again, we hope and wish him the best. But I think with his confidence back and him feeling 100%, hopefully, this is a good sign for Spacestation. Now it just comes down to converting it onto the field. The execution has to be there.
And bear in mind, even though Arsenal was feeling a little bit sticky, he just had a bit of an icky tummy, it comes down to the fact they still went to 7 versus Semper. In a Game 7 overtime, they lost, and that was a peaking Semper.
Yeah.
That's the level Spacestation are able to afford.
Could have one of your fever games, but hopefully it doesn't come to that. As the bounce off the bottom part of the ground, we're going to roll with that sentence. 2:18 to play here in Game 1. It's been all of Dignitas with the pressure into the blue half. Spacestation done a quality job of trying to keep these plays alive and pushing it forward. The pressure just hasn't broken down the defense.
Apparently Jack in the midfield, setting it rightwards towards Jorius, who does get that back boost too. Does not fancy passing the scrub killer in the midfield. 3 minutes gone and a long clear from Arsenal. Tapped on by Rettles as well. Daniel to shoot, does just about squeak it below the crossbar. Daniel equalizing, 2 minutes left.
And it's just enough power here as Rettles finds that redirect. Daniel hesitantly moves up and stalls out before using that boost to punch it behind the defender. That patience in the pocket from Daniel, you'd think he's a veteran, and it's one of his, if not only biggest seasons ever.
His goal participation throughout the week has been around 60%. Yesterday, it rose to nearly 80%. He has been getting involved in every single angle of the game, and Demo's starting to rein in on from Dignitas towards Spacestation Gaming. Daniel, the man that they will probably want to be targeting as much as they can.
That clear was nuts. But Spacestation looking to convert that into a positive advantage upfield. Apparently Jack with very little boost, none in the tank. Still pushing the play forward. A win by Daniel leaves it to Arsenal. Colliding into each other in the corner. Set up yet again by Rettles. He'll find the second touch. Scrub Killer will kill it back down to the ground. Daniel popping it, looking for Arsenal on the side, but he will grab boost instead as resource management comes into play for Spacestation, and they should be able to get this ball out.
Midfield, though, sees Arsenal wanting to be out Jorius, but that man, as he said earlier on, has logged in. So many question marks. He's basically just a Dutch sack full of question marks at this point. That man is we can see what he can do. We've seen him in 1v1s. We've seen the ability he can raise to, but he has not reached that for quite a while, I would say, to be completely scathing. Apparently Jack wanting to have a worldie of his own to start off this game. Scrubkiller shooting on the net, Daniel to catch and going to the backboard. But I'd like to see Dignitas raised to the level that, on paper, they certainly are one of the best in the world.
And that's where Joreuz can be effective in counterattacks, even defensively. He goes and meets Daniel on the side wall, denies the space, and there's no clear downfield. Finally, apparently, Jack can get comfortable on the orange side. Scrubkiller, the third man back, has to play through the island, but swings out in front of the box. Another continuation by Spacestation. They find those second touches, and the rebounds have been there. Now the physicality finding bumps. Arsenal looking for the slow, but apparently Jack will clear it away. Dignitas on defense have done a great job of stalling Spacestation on these ISO touches.
Having those double boost grabs as well. Apparently Jack starts to shut down that Spacestation attack. Daniel could not go as far as he would like. And the 0-second Scrubkiller to send it on, beats out Rettles. Joreuz, can he move this fast? He's Jack in the center. Jack's in touch, saved away by Arsenal. Joreuz in the middle again, saved away by Daniel. Kept to the ground by Scrubkiller. Game 1 overtime.
That midfield presence from Dignitas, which is hot or cold sometimes. Coming out in full force in game 1, off the kickoff, Spacestation find the possession, but taken away yet again. Joreuz putting another shot towards the net. He was the only one to score for Dignitas at the start of game 1. Found it on his own backline, picked the pocket of Spacestation, and now it's up to SSG to push themselves downfield.
Defense now being strained. Dignitas on the blue side, managing to get it over towards that orange corner as much as they would like. Daniel can't pick up that back boost as Joreuz was pushing him, and then Joreuz secures that back boost. The boost in massively in favor of Dignitas right now. A miss from Arsenal due to that factor. Right-hand wing sees Scrub pick up the mid again to the ceiling. Daniel pre-jumps him. Rettles pre-jumps him. But Scrubkiller, he has different ideas.
Yeah, but there's nobody around. They're running out of boost. Holding on the goal line. Trying to turtle up as much as possible. These demos now starting to open up those corners. You can see him kick possession right back to Joreuz. Apparently Jack is there. The connection quickly denied. Daniel getting a hand up. Here comes Scrubkiller.
Again, a mid-boost grab. Joreuz rotating so efficiently, effectively, efficaciously around the pitch as he continues to stay in that corner. Jack is central. Jack is shooting. Jack is scoring.
Center box, dead open, infield pass. Working it through the corner for about 30 seconds. And finally, when the tanks are low, Dignitas rise above it. And they find one another for the game 1 win.
And that minute 13 sums up how I see the series going the entire time. It is non-stop attack from Dignitas. It is rotating via those boost pads. It is continuing the press. And Spacestation, their defense is second to none. They are unbelievable in their own third, and then they get the counters.
And what happened to Spacestation in that overtime is very reminiscent of what Semper did so well. They got Spacestation low on boost, they kept the pressure going through the corners, and they forced a lot of those contests on the point of contact right on the goal line where you only could pop it high off the backboard or play it low on the ground. And Dignitas' spacing past midfield has been good so far, and because of it, they do find themselves that goal.
I don't normally like to just read statistics because that's boring and a bad way to do my job.
Do it anyway.
But I've got 4 statistics I want to read to you. When I was told this by our statistician Direct, it blew my mind and I had to keep double checking them. Jack, the 4 that he's top in his categories, goals per game.
Yep.
He has 1.77, the average 0.72.
Sure.
He's got 1 goal over on average. Score, average 366.
Yep.
He's on 490 per game. Average assists are 0.56. He gets 1.23. Average shots per game, Jack, the average 2.66. He's getting 4.46. He has been explosive. He has been the most incredible version of himself because he has been here from 8 a.m. every single day. He has been grinding, and Aquadome is where Spacestation attempt to level it up.
And in this current state of Dignitas, he's going to have to be that player. Like, he's an MVP frontrunner. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The discussion ends there. If he continues to have this performance to get to the main event, we can only know what he's going to do in front of a crowd when they're feeling comfortable. And we've talked a lot about what this offense does so well, how potent it can be for Dignitas. Scrubkill is a big reason because of that. But off the opening kickoff, it's Dignitas, who once again find themselves control of the ball. Spacestation cutting it down, throwing it towards the back wall. Daniel's going to fly out for boost, and now it's a race to possession.
Joreuz with that push only finds Rettles and no teammate. Apparently Jack just using that ability to fake challenge, force Rettles to send the ball away, but Daniel into that same corner. Will it be deja vu? Will it be a further push down the pitch? It does manage to be a further push down the pitch. 12 boost sends it high. Scrubkiller and Joreuz both fancying that touch on the back wall. Rettles sees Arsenal go central, instead he fakes it out and goes towards the back corner. But Joreuz, that corner control from the backboard, can then push it out.
Yeah, that's a great catch. He stabilizes, but Daniel almost does the same. Double tap would have led way to an opening goal. 50 win by Dignitas and the clear. Huge from Jack.
Daniel, the man that we have been wanting to see a lot from, and from yesterday he has been performing. Had an outstanding couple of days of Rocket League. And Scrubkiller, just for me, not yet got to that level.
That's what's scary though, if he turns it on, all of a sudden.
They're a shark with 3 faces if they turn it on.
Seen a lot of strange things in the water. Joreuz, even stranger, even weirder. He's under the ripples. He's pulling you down by your feet.
What a dunk. What a beautiful play. Over the top of one defender in the midfield. Fancies going against the second. Strong arms it past. That goal finished off. Dignitas 1-0 up, a minute 40 gone. Chance for Joreuz again, goes to the ground, goes for the fake, underneath! Yet another one, Joreuz! That man, arm wrestling with the best.
SSG have to work on some of these kickoffs because it's too free for Joreuz. Watch this dunk. Plays it low. Around 3. We're only a minute 45 in. Love that I can do math on the spot, and quickly, it's a 2-0 lead for Joreuz.
Huge math. I love that a lot. Arsenal trying to go for something else that I might like, and a flip reset does not manage to pay off. Joreuz again, a monster on the ball today, getting one chain dash, 13 boost, sees that back corner, manages to grab it too. Scrubkiller wants to go for a bump. The shot from Jack in the midfield, squeaks past, but Rettles manages to get called on by Arsenal, and the push coming in. Daniel trying to go for that double tap into the corner. Rettles with a boost grab. This may well be instrumental to the push being successful, but Joreuz again shutting it down.
And Dignitas are starting to catch Spacestation off guard as they rotate out for boost. Dignitas are throwing shots upfield, and Spacestation have to collide into one another to save this ball. It's getting them uncomfortable. It's forcing Spacestation to play out of their own zone. They can't keep that defense as structured as they would have liked, and when the foundation breaks down, that's where you pick up the tempo if you're Joreuz or Scrub. As he plays it around the opposite wing, to the adjacent corner we go. Apparently Jack will grab possession, gets bumped off the play. Joreuz with maybe a third dunk here. Scrubkiller popping it. Here comes apparently Jack.
With one flip reset and the demo coming in from Scrub. That's normally Jack's job, to go off the ball and get these demos, but instead he is feeling it mechanically, wanting to get one in the corner. Daniel going for a long shot, but 2 players back. Scrub can take possession and control. Rettles challenging again, and Arsenal wanting to push this central as often as they can. It goes to Joreuz. The men have teamed up before for a couple of years, and in the sky they fancy it one more time. Joreuz waiting in the backfield, 100 boost, ready to pound.
And you got plenty of boost if you're Space Station to be able to keep this play going. You can funnel through midfield and force Joreuz to take that challenge, or apparently Jack, who's usually the first one up, to come meet a 50. They have all the resources right now, but it's just about holding on to the clears. They punch it downfield. They have no continuation off of it. Arsenal will get beat to the ball. Scrubkiller wins another 50 at the midfield line. Now Joreuz catching it on his hood and keeping possession. Looking for the dribble, centered around. A pass to no one, but pulls Space Station out of their own goal line.
Manages to keep possession as well, most importantly. He's able to keep that ball away. Does not then fall into a counter-attack, which is what Space Station are so excellent at. And bear in mind, Space Station's defense, they have been holding on. This has been near unabated pressure, and yet it only stays at 2-0. Those 2 quick goals being massive from Joreuz earlier on. Just seeing Rettles leaving that ball, the control falling back into Dignitas' hands.
Joreuz has been very comfortable in the back line, clearing the ball away on the counterattacks. Oh, what a recovery from SSG! Are you kidding? From the own backboard, and Rettles plays it perfectly.
Rettles! Unbelievable passing over towards Daniel on that side wall, gets it back into the middle. With nobody there, Space Station working around everyone on Dig.
They finally got the pressure to extend, and once they caught Dignitas rotating back into the ball, Daniel stayed up. That's the best play, and Rettles puts another one dangerously towards the net. All of a sudden, the pendulum swings back for SSG. Can they keep it going?
The Scrubkiller, he's used to that danger. He's used to doing this at the top level in the world. That man's a world champion, and by his side is Joreuz shooting. Arsenal to get that save away. 20 seconds separating Dignitas from a Game 2 win. They're going 2-0 up in the series. Final 50.
You might have to keep it up, but Arsenal playing off the side wall, Fennec in hand, won't find anything. Reynolds looking for the catch. We'll get it to Daniel. It's off the backboard. Follow-up from SSG, slow to the play, denied. Dignitas cutting it down quickly. Still alive. Scrub Killer looking for the pinch down. Daniel takes it away. Interception for SSG and Arsenal. Oh, he's through the corner. It's a miss. Reynolds again, down to the ground. I thought it might be centered, but it just won't be there. And Dignitas hold on in game 2, and they're up 2-0.
I have a very sneaky suspicion that that was a genuinely deliberate miss. I think that right then, Space Station were reading Scrub to hit that ball. Instead, he allows it to go onto the back wall, and then it can be cleared away into a better position. Dignitas, if that's true, outstanding mental for them to be holding it at 0 seconds. And 2-0 for Dignitas. On this North American soil, they have thousands, hundreds of thousands realistically across the country for them. And Space Station, after 2 games going down, they will be taking an all-important timeout.
And I think you kind of have to, because after Jorius was a bull in a China shop for the first 2 goals, Space Station had better control of possession. They had better time on the other side of the field, but the defensive dig stood up. And the rotations from apparently Jack in midfield were hard to deal with. Yep. Jorius was a nuisance on the backboard, and Scrub Killer was getting very physical with the demos. Like, the offense and the orchestration of Dignitas is here. Space Station have yet to deal with it as a totality, though the offense was looking better at the end of game 2.
I really like seeing Jorius playing well as well, where we have been incredibly critical of them, especially through spring, where they had what I would describe as a relatively catastrophic season.
Sure.
Split, rather, where they did not make it to the spring major. They did not have that LAN experience. Sure, they scrimmed people online from their rooms. They then attended the major. That must have lit a fire underneath them, seeing their home crowd not even having the chance to cheer for a European team in Dignitas. So the fact that Jorius is back on it is wonderful to see. Typically, you have a look at his hours. You see somebody post it to social media saying he's only got 20 in the last 2 weeks, whatever it ends up being. I think this man right now is rocking about 70 in the last 2 weeks.
And what I love from apparently Jack, from the start of this wild card, potentially if they make to the main event, about a month ago we interviewed him and said, what changed for you guys? What was it like, brutally, sitting in the crowd at London? How did that feel? And he's like, it hurt for sure, but it also reignited that fire that they want to be there. You know, they're kind of pissed off. They wanted to be in that crowd, in that environment. And he's shown up before anybody else in this tournament to scrim early in the morning. He's looked so locked in.
And that, bear in mind, was them watching Space Station Gaming take to the stage and do so incredibly well. Having one of those top finishes that we've seen from them in these international events, they've not yet been able to win a regional in North America. They've not yet been able to take a major, but they have been a consistent front runner at every event, which is what a lot of teams will be aiming to do. Dig are up against their hardest opponent yet. They're doing incredibly well. I do not expect it to be a sweep, though. There is still so much more we can see from SSG.
If you're Space Station, you're up against a Swiss Army knife of possibilities. This Dignitas team can beat you in various ways. This is one of their hardest opponents they're going to face in the wild card. And it's a tall task, but you're going to have to overcome it if you want to make it to the main event. Granted, both teams have a second chance if they drop this series. It's a collision and a double commit, but you bounce the right way, you breathe a sigh of relief, and you continue on.
And the boost, thankfully, staying positive for Space Station Gaming. They are able to recover from that bump, but Jorius ultimately did not make the connection on the shot. He's going for a couple of pre-jumps, a lot of very confident plays. Is that what he's been doing so far? Not quite, but Arsenal trying to go for those strong arm 50s, going through that goal line. Scrub Killer, can he clear it long? No, Daniel has got a lot more aggression. He's going to be nipping at your knees for the first goal.
And that's what Space Station are going to have to do on the goal line. They're going to have to start demoing Jorius or Scrub. There has to be a response physically, because otherwise you're giving them free room to use that boost to clear the ball downfield and hold on to possession like they have. A catch from Daniel, right back down to the ground. Arsenal falls to the earth, and Reynolds will sneak into the play. At least gets the ball out before falling. We'll see him on respawn in just a moment. Who's got possession at the time of contest at midfield? It's been both teams, but eventually, apparently, Jack does sneak through.
A long shot from Daniel with 1.5 minutes in this first game, and certainly we see the pressure falling onto Dignitas instead. They're normally so used to delivering it, and Space Station are normally so used to taking it. Yet they do manage to win the series. They don't think it's working by the looks of things, though. They want to change it up. They need that aggression to come back. Because sure, you can beat the club, you can beat V1, but when you've got a team that is able to pressure you, the hardest you have ever faced in your life, a la how they lost against Semper, you need to change it up. And they do not want a repeat of that situation. Jorius pinching that central towards apparently Jack, 100 boost stolen. Scrub. Rettles again, just a couple of dunks coming in, not too much pressure coming in from Dignitas, but the possession starting to come their way. A wide shot, Rettles. Brilliant idea though, continuing their push with the demos, because that is where Spacestation have been threatening their region the entire season.
Dignitas has been caught without boost at midfield a couple of times, so you're seeing Joris punch the ball away for a clear. And it's giving time for apparently Jack and Scrub Killer to find those big pads. Scrub does just that, but Arsenal beats it right back.
Opened up with that demolition from Daniel on Joris as well. It just starts to, all it serves to do is being able to make them question themselves. It means that they need to burn a bit more boost, keep them moving. Great long shot from Arsenal to secure it. Spacestation Gaming certainly looking at what they did in the first two games, not happy with that performance, and taking the lead in game number 3.
Yeah, they're going to have to win some of those contests on their own goal line. Dignitas have been applying the pressure.
Look at Arsenal going for bumps immediately on Jack.
Yeah, but he doesn't do enough to get it around. That's a good recovery from Jack. But I like the idea from Space Station. Again, we've seen more and more of that as this series is going on. Almost a redirect that would have gone towards Central. Instead, kept high. Space Station trying to play off the backboard now, and Arsenal very far pushed up. Leaves it to Daniel. A lot of boost here for the young one. Corkscrewing his way down, should maintain possession for SSG.
A good load of pressure from Space Station in this third game, as Arsenal fancied a little bit of a worldie going off the top of his car. Rettles clearing from the back wall. It goes towards Daniel, but bumping along with Arsenal. A couple of times that's happened, but not devastating in effect thus far. Scrub Killer going wide on that long shot, and Joris trying to threaten Arsenal. Does not want him to be sitting on his laurels nor his goal line.
Daniel still somehow getting in front. And right when he leaves off the ball, it's Scrub who gets it in position.
It was Scrub getting rid of Rettles as well, and Daniel backflipping off the side post. Nearly makes contact, but not nearly enough. Scrub Killer, fantastic push on that goal line to get rid of the defender, and just trying to push back on what Space Station are attempting as well.
Exactly, they just take a play out of Space Station's playbook.
Joris.
Not again.
Oh, it really felt like that might happen.
That's a back-breaking goal if you give that up with 1:10 to go. Was looking for the reset, but Scrub swings it down through the corner. And Joris gonna have to play this 50. A couple of chances here for Dignitas, not much developing though. The offense starting to flourish. They looked a little bit more comfortable past midfield. Finally are maintaining boost as well, and they can catch up to these transitions.
Yeah, again though, double commits from Arsenal and Daniel. I don't know who's mispositioning, but I know that it has to stop, and I'm sure they're fully aware of that fact as well. A pass central going towards Daniel from Rettles onto the backboard. These teams level, overtime looming in 35 seconds. Apparently Jack missing one touch. Arsenal up the double, gets the flip reset. Scrub to miss, but nobody there to take that final shot.
And that's great positioning at midfield. I believe that was Arsenal who pokes it free. And Daniel extends around. Oh, wow. Would have been a reset and a pinch off the ground with only 19 seconds to play. It's going to take a heroic moment like that to get this lead right back.
Late game heroics coming in from either team. The Scrub Killer going along with it. Can Joris get one touch? He nearly dunks it in again. Apparently Jack there to shoot, but just weak. Two defenders there, both credited with the save as well. We reach 0 seconds. We reach deadlock. And game number 3 sent to that left-hand wall by Arsenal and cleverly dropped to the ground. It's overtime, baby.
It's a 2-0 lead for Dignitas. If you're Space Station, you cannot afford to go down 3-0 in a best-of-7. We've seen some reverse sweeps before, but it would be very difficult.
Never on an RLCS LAN have we seen a best-of-7 reverse sweep. SSG have been close multiple times.
They might do it here, but you would love a Game 3 victory as Scrub getting very physical upfield. The aggression starting to come out at Dignitas. It's going to be a back pass to Daniel. He'll meet it and grab boost. Great patience defensively. Oh, what can they do with it?
Rettles has to be the man to clear that into the corner. Arsenal, his chance to be getting a ground pinch, but apparently Jack, witnessing that, has conceded many of them in his time in the 1v1 gauntlet. 50 seconds has gone in the overtime. It bounces very nicely. Apparently Jack is not able to make contact from the pass coming in from Joris, and a demo. Daniel relieving pressure by removing Scrub Killer.
Multiple big pad grabs by Space Station and a demo. Though they don't have a lot in the tank at the moment, they're keeping their back line clear, and that's big because there's no room for Joris to progress upfield. There's no room for Scrub Killer to fall back into the play off a bump. He's not going to have enough boost to recover. If you're Space Station, you need to be aware of how much you're grabbing and how quickly you need this counterattack to unfold. Apparently Jack with nothing, still making the play happen.
Jack would have wished he had 20 boosts there just so he could make some contact. Scrub burning all of his as well. It is taking every ounce of boost that Dignitas are able to steal and pilfer to get any goal against this Space Station defense. That is doing an incredible job. Scrub launching it over the top of his own goal. Rettles to just rotate, keep it going on. Boost continues to be burned, saved away by apparently Jack, and nobody from Space Station with the initiative to punish.
Yeah, they won't relinquish though. There's no concession at the midfield line if you're Space Station. Daniel,
no.
Reset, almost gets in underneath. Here comes Rettles. Doesn't have enough power, nor enough boost to keep it going. I don't know how the defensive dig has been able to read some of these touches, but for them, they're just lucky they're still in the play.
This is not what Dig are used to in this tournament so far. They are used to being the ones with the pressure. They conceded from this position previously at the start of the game. And that's where Space Station are fully aware of that fact, nipping in, getting some nuisance touches.
And Dignitas are starting to get starved. That's why they're double committing often on the goal line. They have no choice. Uh-oh, here comes Scrub. Oh, Joris in the front of the net. He leaves it to the left. Nice.
I think
that.
no boost, unable to wrap himself around it. Thought there might be a challenge coming in, but instead just whiffs that chance, and that was a brilliant chance with Space Station sitting on their goal line.
And now Abjack has a full tank. Joris as well. Scrub working it around what was 40 for 2 seconds.
Daniel!
Is that the chance?
Daniel,
is that
the chance? 3-0 Dignitas!
That's a rough whiff. A momentum game like this, at this stage in the series?
That's the point where if you're Rettles, you look at Daniel and you say, don't worry, bro, you're good. You're good. We don't worry about that. What, 4 games to win? We can do that. Do you know who we are? We are Spacestation Gaming. We are on home soil. We have got the crowd on our side, and we are playing as a 4-member team. Dignitas, though, 3-0. The confidence, that man in the middle, apparently Jack, with one of the best brains in Rocket League right now.
And he's the first one to talk immediately when the game ends. He's the first one to start commanding the troops. And I think you're right. If with that loss, with that whiff from Daniel, that's what Space Station needs. They need Rettles to be the IGL to say, hey, look, everything's cool. But it is worth noting in this Mobile 1 high-performance replay that it was Joris who kind of got the scoring going, but SSG no longer have a tactical timeout. They're going to have to just jump right into the next game.
Yeah. They have burned their timeout. And sure, it was a great time to do it. I always agree. Do it after 2. Don't wait till 3. 3, you need to get a best of 7 reverse sweep. That is near impossible to do. It is so hard to do over the thousands of series we played at RLCS events. Rettles down, leading the charge for the chance. SSG reigning through the Wildcard Arena.
It's been a tug of war between both teams. It was up and down in game 1, back and forth in game 2. Dead even in game 3. And on Coliseum, how will things change?
Joris going into game number 4 with 100% goal participation, picking up 4 goals and 2 assists. He has been instrumental, he has been grinding, and he is now on Utopia wanting to shut it down in 4.
So potent is the offense of Dignitas for Space Station. They can beat you on their worst days. But where is that ice? Where is that aggression? Where are those disgusting infield passes that break apart a defense through the speed, the mechanics, the decision-making, the creativity? You need to see more of it going into this game.
I'm sure those questions have been asked from their coach as well, making sure that they are fully on each other's side. Chrome, incredibly intelligent, knows what he needs to say to his players. And look at this push, immediately again. This is where Space Station went ahead in game number 1. It did not work, in game number 3 rather. Rettles, a double touch into the flip reset, but Dignitas holding oh so strong.
Daniel fell out of his own rotation just to go hunt for a demo. You can already tell that's going to be the call. Going into game number 4, they want to make apparently Jack and Joris and Scrub uncomfortable when they start getting those clears, getting those wins. Defensively, Dignitas have done enough to win this series. And they've also scored on the opposite end. You get both sides of the coin. For Space Station, looking to maintain possession, it jets its way towards the corner, and Rettles will try to find the clear.
From game number 3, it continues though. The Dignitas only just managing to pick up some boost on their side. 150 between them. It goes lovely for apparently Jack. And Scrub Killer, the question mark on Dignitas with the first goal in game 4.
I mean, it's simple math. It's a 1v2 in the box. And kicking it forward is apparently Jack, who wins the 50 through the corner, puts it on a platter for Scrub. Do the numbers. It's going to be tough.
The kickoff going in favor of Space Station there with the mid-boost pickup. Arsenal can get it just over the top of one, but unable to find any of his teammates. A good few passes coming in, but Daniel, again, just having to play a little bit safe considering the position of Rettles and Arsenal. Both going incredibly aggressive. Are they the two players realistically that you want to be the most aggressive? Rettles for sure. Arsenal over Daniel. I'd rather swap in the young gun.
I think at this point, if you start forcing the offense to get funneled through one player, unless you have the bumps and demos to boot, it's going to be even tougher. You're almost taking what you're given.
That defense from Daniel. It was a 2v1. You said previously, do the math. That man is rewriting physics with that save.
Doing all that and being good at Rocket League. You don't see it too often. It's a dangerous combo, and so is Jorius from open space. Not a lot of time left in game 4 if Jorius is shooting like this.
Reading the angle and being in position is 2/3 of the job. Hitting it hard is the third point. On the kickoff, Dignitas leading 2-0. 2 minutes gone, 3 remain. Daniel with an early shot though from that right-hand wing with Scrub Killer hanging up in the air. Rettles is waiting to take that touch. Arsenal passing, but Daniel with another whiff. Scrub Killer padding those stats in terms of the demos. Manages to get another one, averaging about 4 per game so far in this competition. Jory is shooting wide, not an issue. They are 3 up. If it's passed, it's great. If it's a shot on, it's great. And if these double commits keep coming in for Space Station, Dignitas, they're going to say that's great as well.
Apparently Jack and Scrub Killer just synced up in the Matrix together. They're upfield, getting physical, finding demos. Jorius is taking shots. When they don't have the angle, they flip backwards, go get boost. The offense is online, the engine is going, and Dignitas are not slowing down. It's up to Space Station to have to come out and outright win this game. How do they do it? Is it through the air with Daniel? Not a lot of boost. Under 2 minutes to play here in game 4.
SSG's tournament-topping defense needs to make a resurgence. They need to continue being confident, but Scrub Killer is going to stare them in the white of the eyes and tell them to sit down.
Off the backboard again. A pass downfield that's free.
It's party time for Dignitas. The rave light's coming out. The green says it go.
This is clinical.
And go, go, go have Dignitas been. Space Station, they need 3 goals in 1 minute 45, otherwise they get swept.
The lights say go, 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 so Scrub just went. I don't know what else you really do in that situation. They got caught at midfield. Great pass, better redirect and block. And it feels like Dignitas are reading these touches just a half second quicker. And how much of a difference that makes. It's currently 3-0. Space Station just still looking for their first goal, but Rettles, the double tap, almost waterfalls it down. Arsenal was ready for the pass, it just didn't land.
If that touch doesn't come in from Rettles, then it falls down to Arsenal to get the open net. But sometimes you just fly into the wrong position. Apparently Jack sends it into the corner, 1 minute 10. Space Station may well be losing out to Dignitas in the 4th round. And they may well be looking down at round number 5.
Under 60 to play. How do we keep this on the ground? Arsenal escapes, swings it around both. It's a double commit from Dignitas, and now the demo starts to open up the corners. If you're Space Station, you have to take advantage of this opportunity. You don't get a lot of time to continue to play with this ball. Daniel, another long clear to the opposite side. Right back into the hands of Dignitas. And with all of that happening, nothing comes of it. They don't continue the offense.
The vice continues to grip Space Station, wanting to suffocate Dignitas in their own half. But it falls down to the incredible lung capacity that Dignitas have. And Jorius shooting on the open net. Scrub Killer, patch your stats, son.
That's a great challenge by Appjack, and Jorius just puts it away. It's going in regardless. Scrub Killer having fun, having a laugh. The vibes are high for Dig, and it feels like it's all culminating in this impressive 4-0 sweep, a 4-0 game on Coliseum. In the hindsight, with 18 seconds still to go, this was not a close game.
15 seconds remaining, and it is near enough done. This is garbage time, and this is the time of Dignitas. Through 4 games versus one of the best teams coming out of North America, Dignitas have been destructive, they have been dominant, and they have been devastating.
This is gonna do it. Space Station get to live through another series, but Dignitas handle the pressure. They move on, and they take what's theirs.
Dignitas will now be playing in front of 13,000 people in Dickies Arena in around a week's time. They have wanted this moment ever since they formed. They have needed this crowd to be on their side. They've come to North America to do it, and they have shut down the Sweethearts.
That's a frustrating loss if you're Space Station. It felt like they really never got to see the fruits of their labor develop. And though they do have another series, you know, the way that that one ends, it was all the momentum after that overtime winner. Dignitas held on to it, and it just built and built and built. And for Reddles and company, back to the drawing board you go, because there is no guarantee that you're going to make it to the main event going through round 5.
I feel confident in Space Station's chances. Realistically, look, let's peel back the curtain real quick. We said before the series started, who do we want to win, who are we thinking is going to go through? We both agreed Dignitas go through now because we don't back them in round 5. Space Station, we both said they will make it through. We are pretty confident considering what we saw going into today. They could go through 3-2, but Dignitas, my oh my. That is such a good showing of what showing up early does, of what grinding does, of getting 70 in the last 2 weeks, of what being a team player is all about. And that is something that I admire to the ends of this earth. Dignitas going through 4-0, 3-1 in the Swiss.
Mistake-free Rocket League from Dignitas, and it was clinical. Everybody did their job the way they were supposed to, what they had practiced. It felt like the grind that they've put in, showing up early and taking it seriously. This is the Dignitas we wanted to see in London that never came. This is the Dignitas we wanted to see in the Winter Major. Now we're seeing the Dignitas that is putting it together in the most important tournament so far this year.
I mean, it will be the most important tournament this year regardless. It is Worlds. They have come when it matters. They have shown up in an unbelievable fashion. That is something that we have wanted to see for a very long time. Dignitas fans, you can breathe a sigh of relief. You don't need to pinch yourself. You are not dreaming. They are through to the main event. They have survived the Swiss and with an incredible style. Spacestation Gaming, they have still got one more chance, but we need to talk to the winner. Cole is standing by with apparently Jack.
I'm here with Mr. 8 AM himself, apparently Jack, after that massive 4-0 performance versus SSG. I mean, you said to me just before that you didn't think you played very well, should we say? Talk to me about your teammates.
Yeah, my teammates played amazing. I mean, we came into this match with a game plan. We saw what SSG were doing in their previous matches, and you know, Nick and everyone in the team came up with a game plan, and we executed perfectly. So, yeah, they've definitely played a lot better than me, but we got the job done. So it's what it is.
I mean, ever the captain saying that they played better than you. It has to be talked about, though, the fact you are coming in so early, you are getting on your grind. How much is it changing the way you're playing in particular, the way you feel on a stage like this when Dignitas have had their struggles in key moments?
Yeah, even when I'm not playing mechanically, because I've been putting in those hours, I can, you know, play smart and play composed. And that's one thing that I've struggled with in the past, playing composed. So I think that's definitely improved. And, you know, I'm just trying to put in as many hours as possible and getting in the right mindset right from the go. So, yeah.
Whatever happens, the main stadium, 13,000 people are going to see you, are going to see Joris, are going to see Scrub playing on that main stage. How are you and the boys feeling about that? There must be some nerves.
Obviously, there's nerves for every match, sorry. I think that it would be bad if there wasn't. It means you care. But I'm just excited, you know. We've got a couple of days before we play, I think, so just a lot of hours, you know, playing more Rocket League, so yeah.
Finally, very quickly, I'll give you a chance to make this crowd love you or really hate you. Spacestation Gaming, are they going to make it through the Swiss?
I actually don't know who they play next round, but I think they will. I think they're a really good team. You know, you've got to give credit where credit's due. There you go. I mean, they were on offense that entire series. We just played a better midfield and defense, so it is what it is. I think they'll make it.
There you go, the correct answer there from apparently Jack to these lovely fans. We can actually head over to the B stream right now where the club are facing version 1. Let's see how that's getting on.